It's Wednesday, September 17th, and barring any setback, it looks like all things are going to be a go for Andrew Thomas. Brian Daboll just spoke to the media, or I guess us, and he said that he is going to be ramping up the reps in team period, and he also said he's encouraged as to where he is right now. Serby, how big would that be to get that Pro Bowl left tackle back?
Well, you don't have to worry about Andrew Thomas committing 4 penalties on the opening drive, a la James Hudson.
It was 3. Brian Daboll said one of them weren't on him or wasn't called on him. It was 3.
Well, you get the point. I mean, he only lasted that one series, mercifully, before Marcus Bowe came in and did a hell of a job. A very poised rookie. But, yeah, look, Andrew Thomas last week couldn't do 3 consecutive days of practice. This week, they're hoping that he will, and nothing would be better for Brian Daboll and Russell Wilson if he gets his blindside tackle back for the home opener. 0-2 start again. They started 0-2 last year. Do you know the percentage of teams since the 1970 NFL merger that have made the playoffs after an 0-2 start? 10%, 10.1%. And they can't afford to go 0-3. They should never have lost that game in Dallas. I still can't believe what I saw. But here we are. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Giants home opener. Giants can win this game.
Yeah, and we're talking about a Chiefs team that is not used to being 0-2 as well. There's going to be a sense of urgency. I'm staring at MetLife Stadium right now on Sunday night. And when we're talking about the Chiefs, if you're going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, you have to be able to play as much as penalty-free football as you can. The Giants absolutely shot themselves in the foot down in Dallas. But we'll look ahead here. Where do you think that the Giants have the most favorable matchup going into Sunday night?
Well, the Chiefs are depleted at wide receiver. Whether Xavier Worthy comes back or not, they're still missing Rashee Rice. Travis Kelce's a year older. Sorry about that, Ms. Swift. But these are not the same explosive Chiefs that we remember from the Tyreek Hill, etc. era. Juju Smith-Schuster, Hollywood Brown. You know, the Giants, as of right this moment, after what we saw in Dallas, have the more explosive unit, with Russell Wilson throwing that moon ball to Malik Neighbors, and look at Wan'Dale Robinson all of a sudden, right? Yep. Wan'Dale's yards per reception is 14.1 this season after 2 games. His yards per reception a year ago, 7.5. And his career is 8 point something. So that's just what Malik Neighbors needs to even be more explosive and more dominant, is a guy on the opposite side who can do some damage vertically like Wan'Dale Robinson. And
luckily, Andrew Thomas will be back in that lineup. We'll see how much 100% he'll be in terms of being back to his own old self. But you talked about the moon ball coming alive down in Dallas. That's now going to put Steve Spagnuolo and that defense in a too-high shell. One thing that the Giants have not been able to do consistently these last 2 games, or the first 2 games, is run the football. Cam Scatterbull kind of came in. He looks like he's trending towards maybe being the RB1, the starting running back. Who knows how that dynamic is going to go. But they haven't been able to rush or haven't been able to fire off explosive plays in the run game. And I feel as though because of the front 7 that the Chiefs have, they'll be able to kind of have the same approach as a Washington Commanders, and that's rush 4, drop 7, play 2 high safeties over the top and try and take away. Yeah, I know a little something. I know a little something about football, but gonna have to be able to run the football and hit explosive plays if you want to beat this Chiefs defense and this team.
Yeah, that's what makes what Russell Wilson did in Dallas all the more incredible. He didn't have a running game, so he aired it out. Now, he's not going to throw for 450 yards against Steve Spagnuolo. We know that. But with Trent McDuffie on Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale has Jalen Watson on him. And Wan'Dale now, with his confidence sky high, can do some more damage in this game. And look, the Giants' defense has a chance to redeem itself a little bit. Mahomes is still Mahomes, but they don't have a running game. Mahomes basically has been the Chiefs' running game. So I look for a bounce back for this defense, which should be embarrassed after being humiliated the way they were in Dallas and blowing the game.
Do you think that was more, and this is, for you watching the game, do you think it was more players, or was it a kind of an X's and O's in terms of defense coordinator Shane Bowen?
Well, it was both. I mean, you can't absolve the players. They're the ones that have to execute it, and they're the ones that have to communicate on the field. And Shane Bowen is the one who has to remind them. Now, what went on, we don't know specifically, but we can safely say that you've got to play situational football. Under a Bill Parcells team or a Tom Coughlin team, you rarely would see something like that happen. So Shane Bowen has to get it communicated. He's the coordinator for a defense. But the guys on the field also have to coordinate, communicate among themselves. So they blame everybody.
You fired off the stat earlier about the 0-2 teams and how it's 10% chance of making it into the playoffs, 10.1% chance.
Since 1970s.
Since 1970. Serby, which team would you say is coming into this game in more of a must-win situation?
Both. Both. Now, 3 teams last year started 0-2 and made the playoffs, but the Chiefs are playing in a very tough division. The Giants, look, the pressure's on Brian Daboll. It's on Shane Bowen. It's their home opener. The fans don't want to go through 3-14 again. So the pressure's on both. The Chiefs have not started 0-3 since 2011. Did my homework too. So the pressure's on both. But I would say the pressure's more on the Giants because of 3-14 a year ago, and the fans being up in arms over what they saw in Dallas, a winnable game that was lost.
Yeah, the 0-2 Chiefs are looking around like, I hate it here. They don't know how to navigate this space. We got a primetime matchup on Sunday night, Serby. It should be a great one. Thanks for watching your Blue Rush, I guess, mid-practice report now, since they're out there on the practice field. For Steve Serby, I'm Brandon London.